Labdien. Hello, everyone. Phew. I'm so excited to see so many beautiful women in one room who are interested in tech and IT. So great to see you here in person. Well, Agile, such a buzzword. Everyone knows it. Everyone uses it. And right now, here, I have an imposter syndrome talking about Agile. And before we jump into the topic, let's do a short survey. Please raise your hand if you already have an experience working in Agile setup. Wow, that's great to see. Now, even easier, who knows what Agile in general is? Raise your hand. Perfect, we have audience that is well prepared, but in order to be aligned, let's quickly go through main Agile points. Agile, it is a methodology to develop software products. It is about people, small group of people working together. We have daily stand-ups that allows us to have constant feedback, exchange. Then we deliver software in short iterations. Usually, every 2 weeks, we have a working software delivered. It has a business value. We get a feedback from business very quickly. And that allows us to succeed or to fail quickly and adjust and improve and learn much quicker. So now, I know more about your background in Agile. We are aligned on what Agile is shortly. Now it's time to introduce myself, why I'm here. Yeah, my name is Daria Isaeva. I work in Swisscom, which is the biggest telecom provider in Switzerland. And I've been working since a bit more than 4 years in Agile setup. I started as a technical person, working as DevOps Engineer, and then I switched to Scrum Master, direction, empowering people, being more people-oriented. About my personal life, I'm married. I have 2 kids, 2 boys, 5 and 1 years old. They keep me busy and happy. Yeah, why I'm here today? I'm quite passionate about bringing women professionals together. Today is the great opportunity. I'm really looking forward to meet with you in person. And I'm also leading there our internal community in Swisscom. It's called Women in Tech and Lead. Enough about me. Important point. Today my talk has not only some empowerment purpose, or it's not only to give you some new perspective on Agile, how is it? It has a potential benefit for everyone here, because Swisscom opens a DevOps center here in Riga. It will be our second DevOps center in Europe. We have a first success story in Rotterdam, and now we are very privileged and excited to open one in Riga. It means that till end of the next year, we want to have 40 employees on board. And who knows, maybe here I have future colleagues. Yeah, about my story in Swisscom. I came to Swisscom 5 years ago, a little bit more than 5 years ago. And it was running almost all majority of the projects. They were running on waterfall, a little bit old school. So the projects were taking time. The developers, they were far, far away from business people, from the end customer. The communication was almost not happening, or it was too late when developers could talk to business people. And due to that, around 85% of the projects, and not only in Swisscom, but in the companies who were running on waterfall, they were failing. Because the changes were so slow, but the market was developing very quickly. That's why a lot of the projects were failing. And it was 2015 when managers in Swisscom, they started to talk about Agile, about squads and tribes, about Kanban. And that all was new to me. I came from this deep experience in testing, as you see here, because I started my career in IT as a test engineer, and I knew the end-to-end processes, but that was all. And then I got the invitation to join Agile team. How cool! I thought Agile is really an interesting way. The mindset was really driving me, and I thought, yeah, I want to do this. And here I was in this Agile team in a totally new setup. And we had all the possible tasks there, ready for me and other colleagues to be pulled. And that was amazing because there was, for example, an automation to be done. And I could learn how to automate, how to write an automation script. Then the tool itself was totally new to me because I never used it before. Then there were some configuration on production to be done, SQL queries to write, some really new stuff for me. And that was totally out of my comfort zone. So this broad know-how that you see above, that was happening very quickly, and that was not comfortable. But as a result, I learned very quickly, and yeah, I grew a lot at this time. The most amazing thing from these broad skills was the Agile mindset itself. That was the reason why I later switched to be a Scrum Master, because I wanted to empower more people for Scrum and Agile and be there for people. And yeah, during this transformation, there were certain challenges or some lessons learned that I would like to share with you. I called them Beauty and the Beast. You will know in a minute why. There were many beautiful moments in this way, in this transformation. The moment we started doing Agile, we could be whoever we wanted to be. I can be a tester one day, and next day I could do the coding. The day after I can do the design, because we had a project where I was taking a part where we were designing an app for Swisscom shop employees. I could really define where the buttons should be, how it should look like. I never did this before, and that was a feeling that I am making an impact. Quite a nice feeling. Yeah, then we saw that our team, our Agile team, it is enough. We didn't need a line manager in order to make some decisions, or, I don't know, to define the process how to go on holiday. We were enough to make those decisions. That was a nice feeling, and that made people happier. We saw a boost of the communication. There were different communities of practice. For example, for Scrum Masters, there is one, and there people are excited to share the knowledge. You can come with a question, and this community will help you. So people from different fields within the big corporation were now talking to each other. That is really nice to see. Yeah, and the result was what matters. How much time we spent in front of the computer was not that relevant. The important was the result is there, everyone is happy, the customer gets the product. It's all good. And yeah, I was talking about waterfall and that business was separated from the programmers who were actually writing the code, the program. And here, business was part of the team. Programmers, they could come to the developer, to the business people and ask questions. Why we're actually building this right now? How should it look like? What should it give to the customer? And that was a great cooperation boost again. And Agile gives lots of possibilities for personal branding. Imagine you have discovered a new tool and you like how it works. All the people in the corporation, they are curious to learn something like this. And you will be seen, you will be heard. If you like it, that is a great possibility for you. And I would lie if I say it was all rainbows and sunshine, all easy. They were beasts, some moments that we didn't really enjoy. First of all, because we are changing and learning so fast, it is out of comfort zone. It's not comfortable. It needs the will for change. You have to want it. Otherwise, it is tricky to empower people. Then we saw that this switch from doing Agile, and by doing I mean running the ceremonies, stand-ups, retrospective, planning poker, all that is good, but it doesn't mean that this mindset change has happened. It doesn't mean that we are all being Agile. And that takes time and energy. And today, we also were talking about the changes, that we are not comfortable with the changes. We love to predict the future. We want to have a plan that don't really change. But there are uncertainties, there are changes that are coming. Sometimes it is painful to have them. And again, I said already that we were one team, and this team was enough. We didn't need a manager anymore. But the thing is that the responsibility was growing bigger because it was our decision. It was not someone that told us. It was us. So we were responsible for that. And that is not always easy. Yeah. Bottom line of the previous slide is I was really enjoying Agile, how it worked in our team, the mindset itself, the philosophy of the methodology. And I was thinking, how can I scale this? And as many women and just people in general, I love to plan. And I thought, is it possible to use Agile in some other topic, not in corporate environment, but for example, for private planning? Apparently, yes. I came across a system that was created by Catherine Lengold. She is super smart, super talented entrepreneur from Silicon Valley. And she created a system called Cosmos, and it uses main Agile principles. The main idea is that the planning for the long period doesn't always work. And she suggests to plan for a shorter periods of time. For example, 9 weeks. And when you just start with the system, it is fine if you can plan for 2 weeks, for 1 month. Then you can increase when you see, okay, it is working. Then you can go to 9 weeks. I've been using this system since more than a year, and I will show you some real life examples that it actually works. Yeah, we have a goal, no, we have 9 weeks first, and then we need to have a goal, what to do in those 9 weeks. The goal can be in 3 categories: relationship, career, or personal growth. Yeah, now to my personal experience with setting up these goals. Maybe now you can think about your big goal. What is it that you want to achieve in very close future? Think about. Maybe you can do the same right now to your goal. So I wanted to be an offline conference speaker until November 2020. Well, the opportunity came a bit earlier, so I have to speed up a little bit. And my brain was panicking. How am I gonna do this? Where to start? Maybe better not to go there at all. It's scary. And then, in order to calm down the brain, I thought, okay, I need to slice this. And this is the method that you use. You have this big goal. I call it a feature, how we call in Agile. And we do the feature breakdown. We slice this goal into small steps, the tangible ones. And then the brain is relaxed, and we can come up with the actual plan. For example, for this particular goal, being a speaker, what can be the steps that you take if you want to become? Probably, first we need to think, what can be the conference that I want to go? Then you need to know what you want to share with people, what can be the topic of the talk. Then it is always nice to maybe take public classes. Then we need to write a script. Then to better visualize the content, add some slides. To make a dry run is always a nice idea, maybe several times to get the feedback. Don't sleep for 2 weeks. I was doing it pretty well. Then if the conference takes somewhere in other place, not in the place where you live, you have to book the tickets, the hotel, some practical stuff. And yeah, right now we have to see what are the corona actions that we need to do before we travel or during the travel. That is only an example how you can slice any goal that you have. And it is all about taking small steps, but every day. But you will ask how to make sure that it happens. We have now little steps, little stories. How do we come to the reaching the goal? And here we do the sprint planning, the same as we do in Agile in business environment. Before the working week, I take around 20 minutes to think about the next week. What can be the story that I can take and plan and work during the next week? Then we need to have a time slot free for that. I am sure everyone here has 30 minutes a day, which is free. So you take this time slot and you book it for this particular activity. You set aside everything else, no notifications, cell phone, leave it somewhere behind, and you work 30 minutes on this topic. You say, okay, 30 minutes, what you can do in 30 minutes. It's not a lot, it's not enough. We have 5 working days, 30 minutes, that gives us 2.5 hours in a week. 2.5 hours is enough. By my experience from last 2 weeks, it is totally enough to make a draft version of the presentation. It is for sure enough to select the conference. It is enough to reach your goal. And scientists say that the best idea, the best way to plan this little time slot is in the first part of the day. This is the time where you are the most creative, most energized, full of power. So try to prioritize it in order to start your day with this goal that is important to you. All other stuff can wait half an hour. And during the sprint planning, it is great if you can think of some treatment, some reward that you will get once the week is over. It can be anything, like reading a book, going to a restaurant where you wanted to go 6 months, maybe doing some spa treatment, going out with your friends, whatever is important and makes you happy, plan it and make sure the time is booked also for this. It is important. Well, imagine the week is gone, we reached our goal. There is the result. Now we can make a retrospective. We look back and we see how was the week? Where do I stand with my goal? Are there any impediments? Is it already reached, or do I need some changes to be made? Do I need to adjust my plan? You take time for that. Another thing which is important, gratitude. And with this, I mean, on your way during your week, you have people who maybe helped you. You were talking to a colleague, and this colleague gave you were just talking to him or her, and you had an insight during this talk. Or maybe you were working on the presentation and your partner was cooking a dinner for you or staying with the kids during this time. I really motivate you to tell those people how grateful you are for their support. And here is my private Agile team, and I'm getting all emotional when I talk about this. This week, my special thanks goes to my husband, who now is there with my kids, and this is why I could travel and be here with you. Thank you, Sasha. Yeah, and I wish you, not yet, thank you very much. I wish you to find your Agile team, whether at work or at private life, someone who supports you, someone who helps you. And don't be shy and ask for the help, because when we have someone in our Agile team, that makes the achievement of the goal much happier, much nicer. And don't forget about the reward. Take time for yourself, because you are the most precious person in this world. Make sure you do this. Yeah, that was it. Thank you very much. In case you have any questions to myself, you can always find me on LinkedIn by scanning this QR code. In case you are interested in DevOps Center in Rotterdam, here is the contact of our hiring manager in Riga, or you can always come to me. Thank you very much. That was a real privilege to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Daria. Do we have any questions in the audience? Some hands going up. Yes, we have a question. Good. I will repeat the question. So the question is that Daria mentioned in her presentation that when in Agile, you can be anyone in the team. You can take up any role. And the question is whether then you don't lose the possibility to go deep into something and become an expert in a field.
I would say that for sure doesn't stop you to be an expert. It gives you more perspective or more things to try. For example, I started at a technical position in Agile team. And then I saw, wow, Agile itself drives me. That's why I switched to Scrum Master. Without joining the Agile team, I would know who Scrum Master is, how the things are working. And here also, if you want to be an expert, you can still be an expert. But if you want to learn something else, it's a perfect opportunity to do so. So it's, I would say it gives you more possibilities and doesn't stop you to grow as an expert. And you get also this transparency within the company or everywhere. So I would say it's more like a benefit. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Yes, we have a question. Mm-hmm. So the question is, what positions will Swisscom be hiring here in Riga? Is it going to be just DevOps or other positions?
So we start with DevOps engineers first. Until the next year, the plan is to focus on DevOps engineers.
Yeah. So tech positions. Yeah, we have another question. Awesome. And another one. Okay. Personal growth. Okay. Okay.
A tricky one.
Okay. So the question is about the personal growth. So you mentioned 9 weeks as a sprint, or like
I call it a PI, the 9 weeks, and the sprint is 1 week. But
so the question is, why 9 weeks? Is there a model behind it, a theory, or is it just what you've learned?
It's what I learned on practice, that it works. But as I said, when you just start, it's better to take a shorter period of time, because it needs some practice when you can adjust this time to 9 weeks. And why not 1 year, for example? Because on the way, sometimes we don't see the result, and it makes us less motivated. That is why, better shorter period of time where you can see already the result. That is why. Yeah.
There was another one. Is there another question? So the question is, what specific courses or steps you should take to become a Scrum Master, or what did
I
Daria
have a
say?
story to that. It didn't fit into the presentation. I would love to share that with you. Thank you for this question. When I wanted to become a Scrum Master, I didn't have any experience, and it is to find a job when you don't have an experience. I thought, what can I do? I really started to slice this big goal, and I thought, we have a big company. And, I really believe in the energy. So I was thinking about this, how to get the opportunity to try. First of all, I tried within my team, because Scrum Master in our team, he was running out of ideas how to, for example, do the retro, and he was always happy when someone helped. So I was trying that. Then I was the deputy when he was on vacation, so I could try the planning, some interaction with the team, and I liked it. Then there was a possibility to try myself as a Scrum Master for a totally new team during the PI planning. So I came there because Scrum Master of this team was on vacation, and the team needed Scrum Master. So I came there, helped them during those 2 days, and I can say that is the best way to learn if there's something for me. To understand where are your weak points, where you are good at, and then you can, based on this output, you can think of courses or some other activities. So I wouldn't say you should start only with a course. Try first to get the feeling, if you really enjoy it. The possibilities are there, usually. Thank you.
All right. Do we have more questions in the audience? I think I don't see any. So let's give a warm thank you, applause to Daria.
Thank you very much.